Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here, Peterson Electric. Try to do one interesting video for you here a week. It is April Fools 2019. This is a basement here in Lafayette that we've been working on. It's that same custom house if you followed me through the winter. Pretty big custom house. Got all this done down here. And waiting for insulation inspection because our wires passed. They'll be drywalling 2 days from now. So I came to show you this. Yeah, some of you guys that say don't use a light bulb to test, I do agree with you to be very, very, very careful. Light bulb is good for a 120 volt circuit if you know it's 120 volt in a residential situation. But here's a prime example of a sump pump system. Now this system here was way on the other side and the basement was never finished. They wanted to move it in the mechanical room. So I ran all these wires up through here, right there. Insulators are pushing my wires off. Right through here. And I ran it all the way down out here. Okay. I ran a 12-2-2, which I like to call a 12-4 plus ground. And I ran a 12-3 and a 12-2. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wires that way, plus ground. So here's a prime example. Got my gloves and glasses. Bump the furnace there. Here's a prime example. When I ran these out, I labeled them. I just wanted to use higher numbers because I don't use them often enough. Really doesn't matter. But I labeled, which is 12 and 10 circuits there out there as well. And then 58 to 56. So these two go out to 2 sump pump pit. I'll show you. And then right here on that second video, I'll show you. This comes out power into this box. This is a fusible disconnect. Primary here, secondary out, neutral here, and grounds out. This goes into, it looks to me like a little buck boost transformer, but it's done by coils, which is pretty much what a transformer is. This came down into here for some kind of control circuit that they could do, which we're probably not going to end up using this box. And this is a high alarm system that we're trying to figure out what to do. When I got here, all the wires were cut off because the guys who demoed it didn't leave me any hint what was going on. So I ran all my wires out because I knew they were going to do that work. And that was back in November of 18. But here we are in April, 5 months later, because the upstairs is done and the garage is finally getting built. And now we're doing the basement. So I'm here to work on the sump pumps. I want to show you how to be careful on something. So this is a 240 volt breaker coming out, coming into here. So let's check our power line in. 246. Let's check it to neutral. 123. 123. Now let's check the fuses going out. Are they good? Yep. L1 good, or leg 2 here. L2 good. 123, good. 244, out, good. Here's our primary on our coil. Excuse me. 1 and 2 right here. 1 and 2 right here. 245. Here's what's the scary side of this. Is that once it goes through these little transformers, there's a little red wire here and here, if you can see that. If I read this right, and 8 comes down, and 5 comes across, this can connect to a load. Interesting how they call it lower electrode and upper electrode. That's pretty interesting. We don't use those terms anymore unless it's grounding. Look at that. 457 volts. Right? So again, all of this wiring on these three right here, I did not touch. All I did was connect out for what I saw coming out. What I think possibly was going on is that they did have a higher voltage motor. So mind you, NM cable is rated, some of it up to 600 volts, some 300 volt. You have to be careful of the voltage rating. Now when we get most sump pumps today, they're only going to be rated at 110 volt. So, well, they're going to be rated about 300 volts, but 110 to 240. Let's go out and look at this. Again, if I complete this coil and shut it, I believe that's what's going to send my power out here, going out on my 240 leg. But let's go look at all this. So this has been a bit of a mystery for me to figure out. But again, you go putting a light bulb on that at 457 volts, you're in the hospital. Even if it's LED, that plastic will explode. As you can see, we came out of here, walked around, and here's my two sumps. That is a huge one way back there. This is a smaller one right here. I'm going to do a second video because we're at 7 minutes, and look for it on Sump Pump for Lafayette. Thanks.